Well, I'd say he's one of them.
Okay, well, I want to comment real quick, Don. I've been through your article 3 or 4 times. Laura's read it. I know that Judy, you've read it, correct?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and Don has done meticulous research on this article, and yes, a lot of what he says ties in with this deception and this, consistent lies that have been told going back down through the years, and it's obvious that there's a bigger agenda involved, which is, a world government.
Yeah.
I found through, and I've got a certificate in private investigation, so I went down the rabbit hole on Don a ways, and I found nothing that refuted anything he said. As a matter of fact, we had a caller. I had Don on the other day. We had a caller named Chris who was trying to discredit Don in his article, and he mentioned a fellow by the name of John Buchanan. And by the way, Chris, if you're listening, I went back and I looked at John Buchanan's work, and I also listened to an interview with John Buchanan on the Alex Jones Show. And I have to disagree with you, sir, because everything John Buchanan said fits right in with Don's article. Now, he arrived at his conclusion from different research, and the conclusion that Webster Tarpley arrived in with his book, The Unauthorized Biography of George H.W. Bush, they're all arriving at the same conclusion, sir. So I just want to throw that out there, gang.
I would comment, Michael, that I used a different method than the one that's presented to us.
Mm-hmm.
I used a lot of intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no book for that. You either have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What just struck me was as I was going through was this lack of available documentation for these birth records, for these these things that would normally be widely available. I mean, is there any other president or presidential family that does not have a complete genealogy available?
That would be a good research document, wouldn't it? That'd be
well, I
something
mean, I've done the genealogy on John Kennedy. I've done genealogy on, several of the other presidents. I mean, and I've done my own genealogy back, way back, and.
Well, there's disputes on certain ones. You could look at Bill Clinton. There are questions there.
Well, yeah, he's adopted, though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but, the story is that they had his father murdered on the highway coming back from a sales convention in Chicago near some highways in southeast Missouri with Illuminati numbers.
Mm-hmm. And, the only thing that can really help us to understand the scope of this is to think of it in terms of a different type of human or a different species of human that is basically looking after consolidating its position over and against 95% of the rest of the population of the planet, because nothing else makes any sense.
Okay, I'm going to have to interrupt here, guys, and say we don't have much time left. Lines are full.
Can I just say one thing before I leave?
Go ahead, Judy.
I just wanted to say that Laura's work is really so important, and I really consider myself a student of her research because I've been charmed by psychopaths. They are charismatic. They very often have wonderful vocabularies and great senses of humor, and they are in positions. They find themselves in. You find them all over the place, and obviously we've all seen them in religion, and we all know about all the pedophiles in religion. I've met women who have been sodomized by their fathers who are reverends, etc. And also in the New Age, it's another place where they flock, these gurus. I once heard a guy say, after thousands of people are cheering somebody on, this guy said, I think I'm the second coming of Jesus. So it's really scary because people are so hungry for answers, and they look to these people.
Okay, guys. Judy and Don, as much as I'd love to keep you on to the rest of the show, I can't. Okay.
No, I just want to thank you again, and it's great listening. I want to listen to Laura anyway.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you later, Don. Thank you for calling in, Judy.
Bye.
We just got a short time till the break, so I've got... I got more calls on the line. Let's go to Mona in California. Mona, you're on with Michael and Laura. Go ahead.
Yeah, Laura, I'm looking at your website.
Okay, wait, Mona, I'm sorry. Hold that thought. Okay, we got to take a break, and then I'll pull you up right after. All right, we're back. Final segment. Michael Herzog, The American Awakening. We've got just a few minutes left, so I'm going to give each caller a minute. And Mona, you're first. Go ahead. You're on with Michael and Laura. Go ahead. Mona.
Yeah, Laura, I'm looking at your website, and it says Mona Montgomery has been exposed as an agent provocateur. And I'm surprised to see that because I was noticing you have about 800 followers, users, and you grade them as to whether they're forces with them or they're a Jedi or they're under moderation or they're banned. And I think I'm entitled to an explanation as to what you mean by me being exposed as an agent provocateur and why I was
Mona Montgomery?
Well, all I know is I'm Mona Montgomery. And I came on your web page and I said a few things about Bolin, and I noticed myself getting attacked by a lot of your followers. And the next thing I left your forum, of course. But now I was just coming to look at your work, and I found my name. You say Mona Montgomery has been exposed as an agent provocateur. I think I'm entitled to an explanation.
Well, if that's the way the discussion shook down, that's the way it is.
No, this is a statement you made, not on the forum, under my personality evaluation, and I want to know what you mean by agent provocateur.
An agent provocateur is somebody who provokes a situation, whether they are conscious of what they're doing or not conscious. Anybody can be manipulated by a psychopath.
So it seems to me then that anyone that asks a question provocative of a negative response from you would be an agent provocateur, because I did not agree with you.
Can you be very, very specific? Can you describe the exact situation, what you were saying?
Excuse me, I have to intercede here. I've got 1 minute left, and we don't have time for...
I just think she needs to know that she's the very type of guru that she's condemning, and she's the psychopath.
Why don't you give out your website for our listeners, Mona?
NukeIsraelNow.com.
We'll see who is...
yes, sir.
Is who. Goodbye. All right. Well, let's go to Ray in Texas. Ray, you're on with Michael. Got about a minute.
I think that says it all.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello, Ray. Go ahead.
Yeah, what y'all were talking about earlier about getting rid of 90% of the population. If you do Google search for Illuminati Alternatives 1, 2, and 3, you will find it. It's old stuff, been old out there forever. Also, people need to look up TR3.
Have you got your radio on the background, Ray?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, how about now?
All right, fine.
T as in Tom, R as in Ray, 3, the number 3, D, TRC. Now, we have a fleet of those in orbit. People need to know this, what's going on. One of the alternatives was to create a base on the moon and on Mars, which we already have. Don't believe me. Look it up for yourself. Do the research, people. It's happening.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. We're out of time. Closing thoughts, Laura?
Well, like I said, there's all kinds of psychopaths and deviants in the 9/11 movement, and as Judy pointed out, in the New Age movement and so forth, and people who want to do things like nuke Israel now, and if they don't understand how they are being used and manipulated to become agents provocateurs, then they need to get educated really, really fast. And don't jump on me because I think nuking Israel is a bad idea. Nuking anybody is a bad idea.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm of the old philosophy of Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? I mean, seriously, the first thing we need to do is we need to, in this country, we need to take back our constitutional republic, okay? Now, once we've done that, if you have differences, maybe you might be able to sort them out in some rational, diplomatic way, but in the meantime, let's concentrate on getting our republic back.
Getting our republic back, right, and getting those psychopaths out of office. All
right, thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate it. I'm going to give you a call off the air for just a second after I get through here. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. Michael Herzog, The American Awakening, coming to you live from Round Rock, Texas. That ends my show for today, Friday, and stay tuned for the National Intel Report with